I just put my life on the line for you guys. Good morning. Today, I'm gonna do the backyard. We got the old trusty 30-inch dual blade X-Mark here, commercial, that I kept from my lawn care business. And we're gonna do the backyard. I'm gonna show you kind of like what it looked like before, what it looks like now. Quite a transformation. In fact, the prior owner before us that had this house came by a couple days ago to pick up a package that got mailed here by accident. And he pulled up, and I think he passed the house because he didn't quite recognize it, because the front yard we've redone, the backyard we've redone. But anyway, I'll show you quick kind of like before pictures, what it looked like back here, and then of course after, and everything that we've done, and kind of walk you through everything. It's been a lot. It's taken us about 8 years to get it to this point. It was super natural, you know, no grass at all, tons of trees, no real planting, no real plan. Anyway, we're gonna work in the yard a little bit today, so we're gonna cut the backyard. This is fescue back here, tall fescue. Alrighty, so we got all done there, but there's a couple places I need to sharpen that blade. I thought I had one more cut out of it, but anyway, we're all done back here. And here's another little thing. My grandfather, dad always told me this, that, you know, when you're done with something, just clean it up. So every time I cut, clean the deck, clean the outside, just to make it last long. This thing's actually 3 years old. Anyway, I think it's just a good rule to live by. So just as a little background, when we bought this house, it was like a short sale pre-foreclosure thing. And I looked at the pictures and stuff online. My wife actually made an offer without me seeing the house, just because we had looked for 2 years. We kind of knew what we wanted. But for me, this area used to be a carport. And, you know, we first drove up here and, you know, we walked through this door. And this is kind of a cool door anyway, right? But for me, the yard was a big part of what we wanted and what we were looking for. And in Sandy Springs and in Georgia in general, there is a lot of topography. And so it's really hard to find a super flat yard. What's up?
I was just trying to show you something.
What are you trying to show me?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry? You're always hungry. What do you need to show me?
This.
Uh-oh. No. You have a phone. You don't need a computer too. Kids.
You can get a comfy spinny chair for my desk.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, the yard is a big deal for me. I mean, I love this house and the space that we have here and everything that it is. But for me, the yard was a big, big selling feature. And I'll tell you why. When I walked through, I didn't even walk in that door. That goes into the kitchen. When we first got here, I walked through this door and I went like this. I was like, oh, okay, nice. Now, excuse the mess. I'm working on it for today. But, I mean, as you saw in the pictures, there were a ton of trees. There was this big firewood structure thing. This patio was fantastic. I mean, love utilizing the space and entertaining and the whole 9 yards. But for me, this was like the biggest selling. I mean, this is almost tabletop flat. We did add the sprinkler systems. We did remove a ton of trees. You know, we still have some pretty decent shade back here. I mean, it's 10:30 in the morning on this May 2nd, and so we're getting a ton of sunlight back here, but there wasn't one blade of grass back here. So anyway, I kind of split it in two. So right about that corner of the fence, straight across, I made a first little attempt at grass here. And I don't love fescue for what we're doing here in Georgia. And I've got some pine straw and stuff still to put down, but I don't love fescue. And so I wanted to put zoysia back here, which we will eventually do. But not one blade of grass, so all natural pine straw, pine bark, mulch, junk plantings. There were 2 planter beds right there that you see in the pictures. The trampoline obviously wasn't there. That fence was like a chicken wire fence, similar to what's over on the other side of the other fence over there. So we just replaced that fence like a year ago. We planted those 2 trees and those 2 trees, and then I kept all of these, but they were like 20 feet tall. I cut them down and just tried to like kind of manage height over the last couple of years here, because I wanted something that was nice and looked manicured. And obviously this grass is nice, super thick and everything, but it's about 3 years old now, and that's about how long we've had the sprinkler system in here. And I mean, it, you know, this is like 5,000 square feet or so, give or take. So you have to have, you know, a ton of water hitting fescue, and especially with the sunlight that we're getting back here, you know, by noon and 11, 1 o'clock, this is just full sun. So anyway, but just cut it down at 3, and you can see there's some stragglers there that definitely need to get that blade sharpened. But this is what sold me on the house. One of the other things I had to do, and this is fairly new, these rain chains, which I love because it just takes the water down there, and then the grade and the slope of this patio, as you can see, kind of comes down here. I added that drain last spring or last summer, I think. Obviously a little clogged up from the rain and stuff we had this past week. But this downspout goes down, and then we buried it, and it runs over to this. And then there's a 4-inch pipe that runs from there down that we buried over here and connected this one as well. So there's like a little T-fitting in here that runs out and, well, behind that fence. Speaking of this fence, as you saw in the pictures as well, was about 8 feet this way. So call it about here, you know, all the way down. This 8-foot fence, 40, 50 feet long or so. And the neighbor put this fence up, that neighbor put that fence up, and has a gate and everything. I mean, it's huge. Their yard is awesome. But this 8-foot fence here was just eating up about 1,000 square feet of turf here, or yard. What was yard and is now turf. And so I ripped this down, kept these 2 sections, put these 2 sections here because their driveway is like right there, as you can see. But we gained, I mean, literally 1,000 square feet there. So, but this had to be done because when rain would come, it would come down off of that downspout over there. And then of course, all the surface here, that patio sloped back towards here. So this area would just get totally muddy. And then in really bad storms, it would back up to maybe even like this first block or so. So anyway, that was a little late to the game, but we had to do it to kind of mitigate some of the water issues. Because again, all of this, you know, impervious surface back here had nowhere to go. So it was basically just running there. And of course we didn't want it running back towards the house. So we kind of built that back up as well. See, I told you I was going to clean it up. All right, so second zone over there is running now. I am going to get up, though, on the roof to blow the gutters out and blow the roof off and stuff, but also give you a little bit better perspective. Those pictures I took were on the roof, so it only makes sense, I feel like. Oh, here we go. This is really hard. Backpack blower and a camera. Okay, slower. There you go. Easy does it. Easy does it. All right. I just put my life on the line for you guys. Okay, there we go. So there you go. I appreciate you guys following along, coming into the backyard with me, and hope you enjoyed. And that's it. That's a wrap for today. I will do another video on the front yard, show you the befores and afters of that one, because it's just a lot. It's too much to cover in one video. So anyway, that's the backyard. That's what we've done back there. The next one will be the front yard here. And yeah, that's what we'll do next time. So anyway, thanks so much for following along. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions or concerns, comment, do whatever you do. And we'll see you soon. Bye.